Okay, we've literally all been there, right? You're stuck in this chaotic group project or maybe a frustrating meeting, and everyone is just talking at once. Nobody's actually communicating. It's so overwhelming. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to build your ultimate survival guide for mastering group discussions.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll hit the group discussion challenge, move on to justifying your opinions, tackle the art of clarification, learn how to interrupt politely, and wrap up with communication do's and don'ts. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The Group Discussion Challenge, Moving Beyond Chaos.
Now, setting the stakes right up front is absolutely crucial here. Effective communication, it's about being understood, not just, being the loudest voice in the room. And it all starts with your opinion, which is basically a personal belief, judgment, or viewpoint about a specific topic. But here's the catch. Having a simple belief, like saying online learning is beneficial, well, that's really just the starting line. If you just toss that into a discussion, it doesn't hold much weight. It needs structural support.
Which brings us to Section 2, Justifying Your Opinions, the OREE Blueprint.
So this right here is the very first major tool in our toolkit. Justification literally just means explaining exactly why you hold a belief. And this powerful four-step formula is exactly how you pull it off. It's called the OREE Blueprint. Step 1, you state your opinion. Step 2, provide a reason. Step 3, give an explanation. And Step 4, offer an example. When you intentionally walk your listeners through these 4 steps, you instantly transform this weak, kind of forgettable idea into a rock-solid argument.
Let's look at how this actually transforms your communication. Think about a weak opinion like, the library should open longer. Honestly, if you hear that in a meeting, it's so easy to just shrug and move on, right? It's totally dismissive. But instead, try saying this. I think the library should extend its operating hours because many students have evening classes. For example, students often need a quiet place to complete assignments after lectures. I mean, do you hear the difference there? That confident, reasoned tone totally proves the absolute value of the OREE formula.
And to implement this smoothly, you can use these little signpost expressions. Start your opinion with, in my opinion. Then map out your reasoning with, this is because, or another reason is. Ground it by saying, for example, and then confidently wrap the whole thing up with, therefore. These phrases act as clear signals. They help your listeners easily follow your logic, even during a super fast-paced meeting.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Section 3, the art of clarification, understanding before speaking.
So we're shifting focus from speaking to listening now, specifically asking questions instead of making assumptions. Clarification means asking someone to explain information that's unclear or just confirming that you've actually understood it correctly. Good communicators, they never assume. Seeking clarification is absolutely vital if you want to avoid messy misunderstandings, get the facts straight, and make sure everyone on the team is on the exact same page.
Let's look at a quick role play from our source material to see this in action. Sarah asks, could you clarify what you mean by hybrid learning? This is such a great example. It perfectly models a calm, highly polite way to ask a peer for clarification without sounding accusatory or making the other person go on the defensive.
And then, here's Allie's response. It means combining face-to-face classes with online learning. This brilliantly demonstrates how you should respond when asked for clarification. Just give a direct, organized, helpful answer. You can use phrases like, what I mean is, or let me explain, to guide your colleague right to the answer.
Okay, moving right along to Section 4. How to interrupt politely, yes, it's allowed. We really have to address the elephant in the room here. Interrupting feels incredibly rude. Most of us were taught to literally never do it. But I actually want to reframe that, because there are times when you absolutely have the green light to jump in. If you need to ask for clarification, correct a crucial piece of information, add a highly relevant point, pull the discussion back on topic, or just manage the clock, then you are good to go. If you're interrupting for one of these valid reasons, you aren't being rude at all. You're actually helping the discussion move forward productively.
So how do we actually pull this off smoothly? Let's check out John's technique. He says, sorry to interrupt, but could you explain how industrial visits benefit students? Look at exactly how he frames this. He asks for permission using respectful, de-escalating language. He states his apology and then immediately follows it up with a really purposeful question. But here is the secret sauce to making this work, the crucial final step that so many people forget, returning the floor. Once your point is made or your question is answered, you must gracefully hand the microphone back to the original speaker. Saying things like, "Please continue," "Go ahead," or "Thanks for letting me interrupt," instantly restores the collaborative harmony of the group.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today, which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Communication Do's and Don'ts, Setting the Ground Rules.
Let's take a quick second to consolidate all of this into definitive rules of engagement. You always want to listen carefully, be patient for an appropriate pause, and maintain steady eye contact. It's grounded, it's respectful. But on the flip side, absolutely do not interrupt repeatedly, raise your voice, or start talking over someone. Doing those things just creates this frantic, hostile environment where literally no actual work gets done.
And this brings us to your ultimate visual cheat sheet. Seriously, I highly recommend keeping these expressions in your back pocket. Whether you're giving opinions with "I believe," giving reasons with "this is because," asking for clarification with "what do you mean by," or interrupting politely with "sorry to interrupt," relying on these specific expressions will completely transform how you handle academic and professional collaborations. It's a real game changer.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. The next time you disagree with someone in a meeting or a group project, will you just raise your voice? Or will you step up and justify your opinion? The choice is entirely yours, but with this toolkit, you are now completely empowered to take control of the conversation. Thanks for learning with me today.